Ladies and gentlemen, I am excited to introduce to you 0.7. This is the first week of 0.7 development, and this is what the new map looks like. The camps, the caves, the castles, they are all on this map. There are no locations randomly floating in space anymore. You can't go on a journey and go to a location that doesn't exist anymore on the map. They are all on the map now. And you can zoom into the map, you can look around it, and you can travel between the map. And there is time. Okay, let me just start at one point. Let's disable this overlay, and we can go over here and zoom in, and you can see this little white tag is for the player. The player is at this city right here, and if you click on it, it is Nomrad City. It's Beyazel. That's apparently the name, the adjective for the nation that it is a part of. And there's a little description, and you can enter this castle or this city if you want. But you can't enter it right now because it isn't implemented yet. But you could in the future. So this castle is also Beyazel, and you can travel to it, and it will cost you 5 hours and 13 minutes. If we click on it, you can see that 5 hours and 13 minutes have passed, and it is now sundown. The world is a little bit orange, because there's a little orange overlay during this time when the sun goes down. I can actually go through the entire lighting process by speeding up the time. This is nighttime. All of the locations give off light. This is pretty cool, like the castle gives off light and the camps. And here we go, it's daytime again. It was just morning, there's a little light blue overlay, and now the sun goes down and it is night again. Let's just continue in nighttime. But so, if we put the overlay on again, you can see that this is all Beyazel territory. But these are camps, and they aren't Beyazel, they are owned by the cult, because they are enemy camps inside this territory. But the cult is now also not only an enemy type, but also a faction. But it's a faction, not a nation, so it can't own land. And there's a little description here, and you can travel to it, and you can right now even actually go into the camp, and it is a journey like we know. It will load a bit. Here we are in the camp that we just clicked on, and this is not an editing trick, this is real, trust me. And as you can see, the lighting outside is the same as it was on the map. It is dark outside because it is nighttime right now, and I can even move the lighting forward, and you can see that it turns morning, it is daytime, and later on it will turn sundown again, and it will be night again. And you can complete this journey if you wanted to, or you can just go back to the map. And I will go back to the map so I can explain a bit more about this map to you. So last week the influence of nation was just determined by the location, and it had a radius, and if something was outside that radius it would not be influenced by the nation. Now it has a floodfell algorithm, and all of the land is covered by nation influence, except for these little islands that are off the shore and that aren't connected to any nation's land. But camps and caves, they can't own land, so they are governed by factions. And so if you look here, this Cornizan castle is, I don't know how to pronounce it, I'll have to change the name generation because these names have been hard since day one. But this castle owns all of this land, and if you would take this over, then you would also have this camp and this cave in your borders. And you can go into this cave as well, and it will spawn a hideout journey. And you can go into the castles, and if you go into the castles right now, what will happen is it will first of all generate the whole castle. And then you can see that here is a Beyazel general and scout and soldiers, because the entire army of the Beyazel empire, or whatever their nation's name is in this castle. They are a bit naked right now, I don't know why. I think because their level is too low to spawn armor, which is a bit weird, which I'll have to change. But anyway, you can see a lot of beds here, a lot of people are stationed at this castle. There's a bit of an idle AI, so these enemies will walk around a little bit when they have nothing to do, and they are friendly, so they won't aggro to you. You can attack them if you wanted to. It's not really implemented very well. I just implemented very vaguely. It's just implemented it has very basic implementation, and you can still loot the chests and stuff, but in the future they will be locked. But right now I was just focusing more on the map. Maybe you're wondering what will happen if you enter a city. It isn't implemented yet, but like I discussed last week, what will happen if you go into a city or a town is you will go to a tavern, and at this tavern you will find the city guard or the town guard, and they will be able to give you the bounty journeys, like going to a cave or a camp to kill a bandit or cultist leader and stuff like that. And now the idea is that you will go into this tavern, you go to the guard, you get a journey, you go to the cave or camp or whatever, you complete the journey, you go back, you get your reward, and it's like a real RPG. That is going to be next week, I hope, maybe the week after that. And it's very exciting because instead of just having a few menus and you clicking on journey and going to it and completing it and getting some stat bonuses, now it's going to be a real world. Let me just loop through the timed lighting because it took quite a while to do this, and I think it looks pretty good, at least better than last week, and that's what it's all about. So next week is going to be 0.7.1, which will be taverns. It's going to take a while to make these taverns because it's a very different generation, because it's not going to be generating a whole level, it's going to be generating just a tiny building. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the outside of it, and if I'm going to spawn NPCs, and the AI of the NPCs will have to be better. And in the future I can put like representatives of the different factions in there, so I can actually put a cultist in there and you can talk to and like even get an idea of what the cult is even about, because right now it's just an enemy type, and right now it's supposed to be an RPG, but it's more G than RP, and I want more RP in it. But for next week I just want a basic tavern, and after that we can get a main menu, just really simple, new game, load game, save games, so that we have a real game, and from there we can just make it better and better and better and better, and then eventually it will be in beta, and then I can offer downloads, and you know the drill. So I hope I'll see you all next week with taverns, and for now this is me signing off. Thank you very much for watching, thank you for subscribing, liking, it does give me motivation to continue this, and goodbye.